And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire as our Fist-Militia-led spoiled democracy that is yet to become a spoiled democracy because apparently it's hard to lose virtue when you're in last. We're in round 63. We've suffered no losses, nor many kills. We have 2 decisions awaiting us. I'm back at war with the neighbors. Okay, that was not planned. Surprised they didn't attack, given that we're at war. Although, their declaration lowered our opinions. Mutual opinions, okay.
Affirmative.
Start trying to renegotiate peace again.
Copy that.
This unit happens to have specifically been cut off supply from the turn, so I realize that would be a valuable target to poke first. Yeah, this is definitely not a good state for us to be in war. We did just get our upgrades. We're going to mass upgrade all units belonging to the SHQ if I can. We don't have that much industry.
Roger that.
50 upgrades go out. Soldier 2s are a lot more comparable with what they're fighting. 85 attack in Pad Envirosuit. The enemy is running around with 103 attack and combat armor on their most up-to-date troops, although some of their out-of-date stuff, if we can find some of it, is I think still running around. Yeah, the Strongly Series still running around with the Pad Envirosuit. So the units that have received upgrades should be more capable of holding the line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we're about to potentially have a bit of a panic moment here. We'll see how threatening the enemy is. They definitely outnumber us, by the looks of it, so that's not a good state. They're more prepared for this war than I am. Okay, well, at least we're going to be getting more yield off of one of our cycling facilities on the next turn. Let's cycle a turn and see how much of a moment we're about to be in the middle of. So it also depends on how their road network is set up. I think their road network is probably functional. I think it probably runs through the city that we can see. As this is the moment of truth. This is their portion of the turn. Do they attack? How many casualties do we suffer? There's an attack. Okay, the militia has suffered 100 casualties. That's not... Yep, second attack. Another basically 200 casualties suffered. Attack twice in a row, functionally destroying that unit. So the particularly spoopy thing for our end is we're inflicting no defensive fire casualties, which is bad. And they strategically transferred a whole bunch more troops in. Oh dear. We might be starting a new game of this front, a new game of Shadow Empire, because apparently I'm having my keister handed to me by the neighbors. We killed 200 infantry, we lost 2,100 infantry, 30 guns, 90 motorized, which let me 90 units of truck, and 10 tanks to kill that 200 infantry. It's around 64, we got 3 decisions awaiting us.
Copy that. Roger that.
We want spies back. We do want them to like us. We'll accept their offer, getting nuclear power. Role-playing would say probably go for the Fist option, but I have other problems. I have other problems, we don't need to be pissing them off. I don't have any good diplomacy cards here. That's the best one I have. Post peace requires us getting up to 25. We're at like 6 last I checked. 6. Play the efficiency drive. That provides a decent amount of credits, so we can attempt the international event. Invalid target. Ah, okay. I think you can only do international event if you're at peace with them. Okay, so then I don't have an adequate bribery card, which is a problem. Because that's not achievable. They want the war too badly. Okay.
Roger that.
Okay, and I'm out of industry, so I can't do any more upgrades. We did prepare replacements for the casualties in the professional army. We've funneled what industry we can into upgrading Soldier 1s to Soldier 2s to hopefully mitigate casualties going forward. And presumably the militia has done replacements where it can. Yeah, current size dropped, but I think we're having a decent deployment of manpower units. I think most of the undestroyed militia units have basically recovered. We have enough logistics to get stuff out to them. Yeah, the question, of course, will be... Because, for example, we knew one of these motorized basically got wrecked, and it's back. So we know the militia is able to handle the casualty rate for the moment. On the other hand, the militia is still running militia. It hasn't swapped up. So the militia's back is not going to stiffen. That's the concern here. Is, can I stop them from advancing? If I can't stop them from advancing, it's not going to take them very long to get to the city. And end the game, let's just say.
Roger
Oh,
that.
and I'm going to run out of bullets. That's a different problem. We're going to run out of bullets. Yeah, in hindsight, to be fair, this is the first game I've run on hard in the Republic DLC, so maybe the AI got a tune-up. Also, I think, in hindsight, I think going Interior Council first was the mistake. I probably should have gone Diplomacy first. If we were going to do Diplomacy, I needed to do Diplomacy first. Or I needed to at least do Eco Military earlier. So, we're, what, I think, because we delayed Eco and Military, we're basically 2.5 councils probably behind the opposition, which is what we're feeling here in the bleed on the soldiers. Soldier 2 is actually showing up and doing some work. Not enough to stop and hold a territory, but better than nothing. Yeah, I am suspecting we may in fact actually lose here. I can't get the situation under control, and the way to get the situation under control right now is diplomacy, because the militia are not going to upgrade fast enough. We just invented the upgrade for the infantry for the militia. I think that's like a 20-turn delay on them starting to do upgrades. We killed 300 infantry, so 50% improvement over the last turn. We lost 1,500 infantry, 20 guns, 20 motorized, 10 tanks. So actually, I think things are better. Just that's not a fast enough improvement. It's better, but it's not a fast enough improvement. It's around 65. We got 2 decisions. Let the
Yes, sir.
refugees in for more population. Help to control the traders. I do want the opinion gain, so we'll accept the opinion gain there. Yeah, I don't have any bribery cards. I'm maybe a little too focused on... In fact, we can call up the Diplo Council and try to get the swing adjusted.
Standing by. Affirmative.
Do prioritize on the minors and not enough on the majors.
Affirmative. Roger that.
Well, I think that's the turn. I don't think that's going to be enough to stop them. But we'll see if they continue to bleed on their attacks, although they're not bleeding at a rate that's concerning to them. Whereas on their side, that'd be sort of the cost of doing business. which is not a good result if we're trying to hold. Yeah, rapidly field testing the new units. 33% of field testing done, and they've only been out for 2 turns. If we get attacked, we get absolutely hammered. No casualties on their end. That was actually a decent exchange. So the soldier 2s are doing decent. The problem... Although, they've just got the numbers. I think they've got us dead to rights on numbers at this point. And we lost our main road going north. And that was a food production facility. Okay, I think we are... Well, we're going to be around for this term, but I don't think we're going to survive. That is a blow to the heart that we're not going to return from. Round 66, we killed 300 infantry and lost 1,800 in exchange. We have 2 decisions.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
If they offer some political power. So we've cut this one off. The question here is... And I suppose I could deploy our missile launcher here. We're not going to deploy the missile launcher. Because then we'd break the thing we need, right? Which is we'd break the farm. So we're going to have food issues until we solve that.
Roger that. Roger that.
Yeah, we'll see how that unit responds. We've, roughly speaking, patched the hole in the defenses. We have to deal with the guy behind the lines at some point. Although the solution to that is probably let them starve for a couple turns. Yeah, probably let them starve for a couple turns. As weird as it sounds, because I think we can just pull the guys back, sort of reinforce the defensive line here. Again, the way we win this war is we negotiate a peace with them. So, and I don't even have the cards to even start, apparently. So, yeah, without having the cards to even start, we're just gonna spin the wheels here, waiting for the diplomacy cards to come up while trying to stomach the bleed. They attempt a breakout, and do break out, although they're sweeping around the right flank. And we are around 67. We killed 200 infantry. We lost 2,200 infantry. We have 3 decisions. We still don't have the diplomacy card, so we need to attempt to negotiate. Yeah, still don't have the cards. We need to attempt to negotiate. We took our farm. You want us to conquer a city? We're not in an offensive footing. I'm just gonna say no to that because that's not happening. Law vote. Vote track the militia benefits law. And it's impossible for me to stop them. They're gonna have the size of the militia just as we need the militia to be large. Yeah, that's not good, but I can't stop it. Hostage crisis. Given the circumstances, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Okay. Okay, let's make sure we have enough bullets.
Roger that.
And we can get a few soldier upgrades.
Roger that. Roger that.
And yeah, we're very rapidly getting field testing on the new units. The old ones are very rapidly exiting the inventory, which is not in the form we'd like them to be exiting the inventory, though. Yeah. One thing I will do, we've got political power because it's not being spent the way I want it to. Take the roll, we fail. That's fair. Okay, so once again, we're gonna roll the intern here. And we see if we hold. Again, they're only got 3 hexes away from the capital, and that's including from where they start to where they're going. Right, so if they can take 3 hexes in a concerted attack, we lose the game. We have 1 deployment of nuclear weapons to delay them from doing that. But yeah, there's a decent possibility here that this is at a point where we're not going to recover from. Although what I might try to do is, I think we came off the starting blocks. I think the Interior Council decision at the beginning of the game was the mistake. So what I'll do is, if we do lose, we won't actually re-roll the planet. I won't put it up for another vote. We're going to try redoing the planet with an entirely different mindset on how we're going to deal with this starting situation. Although that might be a shorter run, because that one is, I think if we're going to do diplomacy, and we tried diplomacy, if we're going to do diplomacy, we have to do diplomacy like day one. Otherwise, we're not going to be fast enough to do diplomacy with the people we needed, because we basically needed diplomacy with West and East, and we managed to succeed doing diplomacy with neither of them. We actually stood firm somewhere. Although one firm is not enough to stop the offense. Defender stern firm again. Although we're about to have a pocket in the southeast. Round 68. We killed 600 infantry. We lost 3,800 infantry, 10 guns, 40 motorized. We have 4 decisions. The situation, I would argue, is getting worse, not better. Leader killed in action, not surprising. Got one of those gift cards. Okay, so we can move a little bit closer to peace.
Affirmative. Copy that. Yes, sir.
Commander for the second. Yes. You can have the job. You might not want the job at this point, but you can have the job.
Roger that. Roger that.
Well, we'll see how they respond to their units being encircled. I'd suspect not sufficiently for us to hold.
Affirmative.
Bribery continues. Critical success. Critical success earns us +6. We're at 12. We need to get 25 and negotiate peace. I don't think we're negotiating peace at this point. I think the situation is going to finally fall apart before we do. And yeah, if they take the city, it's over. We're not even really worried about any individual hex. It is the city. So to a lesser extent, the farms on the outskirts, but I can fix the farms on the outskirts a lot easier than I can fix having no city, as one can believe, I suspect. Farms can be replaced. City cannot. Oh, and I can attempt the unification again. Unification might give us a insertion of more. They actually accept this time. Okay. So this is going to give us a once-off injection of troops. Of, frankly, mixed bag of troops because of what they are. We got one Sentinel here. The Sentinel's decent, and the Guardians are obsolete at this point. In a normal scenario, we'd be deploying the South to defend the border, but this is sort of do-or-die moment on holding the capital. Because at this point, it's not worth relocating to this new city. This new city is not going to serve as an adequate replacement to the capital. The capital goes. Okay, when we roll the turn, we see how things are going. 2 hexes for them to go. If they can push 2 hexes, we will call it a defeat. And at the current rate, we're going to need to negotiate peace at least 3, not 4 more turns. So unless the we can see if their supply situation falls apart. I suspect it won't. I suspect they will be able to continue handling that level of attrition. And there is a decent amount of RNG in this game, so it might just be that they have rolled a far better starting position. We won't be able to recover from this, but we'll see. Well, it's also decent potential that they just rolled a far better starting position, and when we do the start over because we lose, that we aren't able to fix the situation. If we do the start over, it's basically going to come down to, can I negotiate peace and subjecthood with the 2 neighbors? If I fail on both, like we did here in this game, I will probably call that one as well. Because given our starting position, we're not with a militia-led democracy, because militia is fairly weak. We're not with the militia going to be able to take either of them. Because we needed all the militia to hold both north and south. Round 69, we killed 100 infantry, we lost 2,000, we have 7 decisions. BP can't... Oh, because we integrated the neighbor, and the neighbor is actually quite valuable. And we have rebels. Where are the rebels? Are they going to actually cause real problems, or if they're just often... is that the rebels? No, I have no idea where the rebels are. People defected to the rebels. Honestly, defected to the rebels at this point might be the best way to survive the ongoing situation, so I don't necessarily blame them too much. Oh, there's the rebels. Yeah, that's a problem, because that's going to delay the reinforcements arriving. So I need to hold the road. City Vernon captured. Where is Vernon, and why do you think we can capture it? I'm not going to agree to that because I don't think we can. Leaders go up to 18. We'll agree to because at least I can complete that.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Demands regular relations. Given the circumstances, sure.
Affirmative.
You can have regular relations, we're not invading you anytime soon. West Asylum. We got a reasonable opinion with them. We'll stick with our... principles and get our democracy here.
Affirmative.
We didn't pull a bribery card, as we can't bribe them this turn, so peace is still farther off in the future. And yeah, counterattack-wise, not happening. Okay.
Roger that.
Get 5 upgrades. There's even 5 people left to upgrade at this point. Yeah, we have 5 upgrades. Mass upgrade, SHQ, U, Ward 5.
Roger that.
Field testing going up real fast, up to 47%. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good sign. Oh, wait, we can see the machine gunners here. Machine gunners are next gen. They're effectively tier 3 infantry. We're on tier 2! Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. They haven't done the same on their rifle. The rifle hasn't gone up to Gauss yet, but that means I could research the Gauss version of that, and yeah, I think the Gauss version of that is going to be an issue. Machine guns are already an issue. And this is all non-line down the bottom here. Yeah. And then we already worked out the Polymer Empire. Our Polymer State is a minor. Yeah, war with someone. So, we missed the boat on that one as well. So one thing that's kind of going for us is we do have really good militancy here. So once we get the size of it down by getting these guys involved in fighting, we'll start getting reinforcements from that zone as well. I've got enough political power. Let's go to law overview. We did have one of our militia laws taken away from us. Let's try to put it back to vote.
Copy that.
Okay, we see the enemy moving. Taking all our free land up north, yeah. So even if we were to negotiate a peace at this point, we'd be pretty cornered. Yeah, we're getting decent casualties at this point, but it's a little too late. Position at the front is very compromised. We killed 1,300 infantry over the end turn at the cost of 4,900. I think that's from an exchange ratio been the best for this entire war. But that's just showing you this is not a sustainable loss rate. Round 70, we have 5 decisions. Lost a leader in action.
Affirmative.
Law vote. I need strong influence to get it to pass. From a sway effort required. We will temp that. And we just barely get it to pass. So, militia benefits is back. Get him to ask to have a speech. Yeah, go to a big town. Doesn't make a big difference.
Roger that.
And even if I had the bribery card, well, if we had the bribery card, we probably would have enough political power to use it. But we don't have the card, so we're not rolling it.
Roger that. Roger that.
It's done. Infantry 1 or Soldiers 1 no longer exists in the army. Every last one of them has either been upgraded or destroyed in combat. We're at 60% field testing on Soldiers 2. That's uncomfortably close to the point where it's actually going to be worth trying to do an upgrade on Soldiers 2. Without a tech upgrade, because that's apparently where we're sliding rapidly in this defensive situation.
All clear, sir.
There's a small chance I regret that move where I fought them back, because they might just take territory on the road there. But yeah, let's go ahead and cycle the turn, see where we are. We've smashed through the main defensive line into the farming area. City sits exposed. Taking the eastward pass. It's not going to be this turn, but if I was the AI on this point, it'd be running into the city on the next turn at this point, so I think we are pretty SOL. Well, I'm SOL. You're only watching. You don't have to own this defeat. I have to own this defeat. Round 71. We killed 200 infantry, lost 4,000 infantry, 110 motorized, 30 tanks. It's round 71. We got 3 decisions awaiting us. We have discovered Gauss small arms, which is the next weapon tech. We would like that, but I don't think it's going to be at any time quick enough. Yeah, it's worth doing that over high velocity. Confirm
Sir,
here.
yes, sir.
We're going to hit no new orders here, because I don't need the APC. Org. Military, swap
Standing
that
by.
to Gauss.
Sir, yes, sir.
Because we can run long enough to run Gauss, so obviously we're going to want that. We're not going to run that long, because I suspect the situation is going to continue to deteriorate.
All clear, sir.
The rebels have been dealt with. Well, we brought what we can into the city. Question is, will the city hold if attacked? I suspect the answer... Well, the answer might be yes, because we have
Roger that.
one usage of a Galactic Republic atomic strike to defend the city, but probably only survives one attack. Moment of truth, their turn. Do they attack? What do they attack? Because we have less and less control over the outlying territories around the capital. Again, at this point, we've reached the point where it's not even worth negotiating peace, because I don't think we can recover from losing the farm, if that makes much sense. We've killed 100 infantry, we killed 100 at the cost of 2,900, 20 guns, 50 motorized, and a tank. We got 4 decisions, it's around 72.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
You know, we don't have any bribery cards, so that's not a solution there. You know the situation's bad when you're not even bothering to put the HQs in the city, because you don't think they're going to help defend the city.
Roger that.
Yeah, we negotiate. We cycle the turn again, without any effectively negotiation cards. We're not going to be able to get them to stop attacking, and at this point we've worked out that we are sufficiently out-teched. Their machine guns are 1 generation ahead of us. Their infantry is oscillating between the same generation and a generation and a half, and a half a generation ahead. So we're not that off on the regular infantry, but they've got tanks, they've got machine guns. I get the tanks are even not that scary. It's just the weight of numbers. We need to outnumber them to hold, and we actually are outnumbered by them. Sort of situation going on here. So this is early game has let us down. Past me has let down current me. Let's just say the city may hold for 1 attack, but if they come in it decisively, the city will not hold from multiple attacks. And the capital's attacked. We did hold on the first attack. Although most of the fighting in the surrounding area is not going well. So they're taking over more and more of the surrounding area. Round 73, we killed 1,300 infantry, we lost 7,100 infantry of our own, 10 motorized, and 20 walkers. We have 4 decisions awaiting us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Roger that.
Roger that.
Well, one thing to note... Oh no, apparently the GR Hellraiser can be fired defensively. A lot of the launcher weapons are not defensive fire capable. So we'll keep this one as is. I was going to say I was going to try to do a breakout here, sort of a break-in to get these guys out, but we'll try just attacking. We're looking at 1 to 1.1. Yeah, it's probably not. We're going to try it. Less than several people are destroyed, and yeah, they're destroyed.
Get out! Requesting backup.
We're going to cycle the turn. We're going to see if the defense holds for another turn. But again, I'm fairly sure at this point we have lost. At no point were we out of last place. So when we officially lose, I'm going to put the part break in, and we're going to try... I'll have to shuffle some files around, but we'll try reusing the planet generation file, which will put us basically in the same starting position. And we'll see if we rush Foreign Affairs Council, if we can negotiate peace with the neighbors. If we can't, then I don't think Fist-Milita on this planet was viable. Because we run into a situation here where one of the majors have sort of run away with a combination of, I think, of a war and diplomacy, because at some point the guy we're actually trying to diplomat here on the east did get protectorated. In fact, both west and east got a protectorate at some point. Here's the moment of truth. Do they take the city? Because if they take the capital, we're not going to win. To be fair, we're not going to win either way. We're at the point where we know we're not winning. Because I'm not getting the cards I need to negotiate to surrender. That's why I put the road around the long way, to try to keep contact to the city to the south. Interesting. This is seeming very unproductive for them. Although to some degree that's the 40 Sentinels. That's the walkers doing their part. They didn't attempt to attack the city. So the city holds for one more turn. We killed 600 infantry. We lost 2,300. We have 3 decisions. It's around 74. Gonna see if we can try to walk out. I don't think we're gonna successfully walk out in that situation. I'm actually somewhat surprised they did not just crush the pocketed groups. And yeah, we just basically... In fact, the Guardians here are reinforcements coming up from the militancy of the city down here, I think. Yeah, we've dropped below current size. We are actually, in fact, getting reinforcements at this point. 200 manpower replenishment was deployed.
Copy that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here's our gift card again.
Affirmative.
Critical success. So we're 5 away from being able to negotiate a ceasefire. And a ceasefire, to be fair, is not going to make this a viable save at this point. We've lost the farms. We've lost like a fourth of our extraction because we lost the recycling there. Oh, actually, lost a third of our extraction because we lost the recycling there. At this point, I think the city is mighty pissed because we've allowed the situation to decline to out of functionality. And yeah, unless we get some really fancy militia to replace the casualties here, I don't think the militia is going to be a solution to our troop usage problem here for dealing with the neighbors. Oh, they're even bringing in their militia. Interesting. And this is their militia, so that's rifle militia. We can't mix rifle unless there's a bug. Unless there's a bug, you can't mix rifle militia with militia unless unless you've gotten into politics and gotten up to militia ready to serve. So you can get militia into the professional forces, or you're running. I suppose it could be late enough. Maybe they are running, or maybe they're getting it upgraded. But this is a militia unit that has had their. In fact, this troop type is militia. So yeah, this is a teched up militia. This is what we want our militia to do: is start deploying our second generation infantry. But that's not going to happen for like 20 turns, which is just showing you how far behind we are in technology. We'll just cycle the turn here. We'll see if we even survive the end turn. I don't think we are. Well, technically we have a second city, so we're at the point where we don't actually instantly lose if we lose the capital. But losing the capital at this point is enough of a morale break. We lose all the bureaucracy. There's no way we're catching up with technology without any bureaucracy. But yeah, if we lose, we're basically going to run this part until we lose the city. And then during the tea break in the middle, I'm going to do some adjustment of where I got files. Because I want to save all the turns in case I have questions from people from YouTube, so I can go look up those questions. But we'll use the PlanetGen file and see if we swapped the order that we did our councils. We do foreign affairs first, and we try to negotiate with the neighbors. Can that get us to a point where we negotiate protectorship deals with them? And there we are. We lost the capital, so at this point, this is a borked run. Garrison is not going to. We're not going to be able to negotiate peace with these guys before. And even if we negotiate peace, it won't be at a state where we want to come back from. But yeah, we need to be expanding much faster. And in this map, to expand faster with a militia primacy, I would have needed to negotiate peace with the peace and integration with the neighbors, east and west, because the robots we don't have the tech to fight the robots early on, so we basically have to stall against the robots while we try to find ways to get enough numbers to get them encircled and destroyed. So if we don't negotiate with the neighbors, the other majors run away with the game, which is what happened in this one. There we go. We killed 400 infantry, 20 tanks. We lost 5,900 infantry, 40 guns, 70 motorized, 10 tanks, 40 walkers. We have 7 decisions awaiting us, and we've lost the capital. Our political system is now a spoiled democracy, because losing cities tanks your virtue score. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 leaders killed in action for the defense of the city. Yeah, at this point, the game was nice enough to go like, we're just gonna give you a second SHQ because you've lost your first one. They didn't even bother to occupy the city. I took the city back. That's yeah, we're not. We know they can take it. Think. Oh, the launcher apparently didn't get consumed, so we still got a launcher. We still got one deployment of ordnance. Let's fire that ordnance. So our one shot and shooting the GR Hellraiser always consumes it. Killed 10 subunits. Got another 8 to the point where they are retreating, single shot. So, powerful weapon used in the right circumstances. We never really had a circumstance where that would have made a significant difference. So, we shot it. We had our fun. And, yeah, that's where we're going to call it. Militia. Okay, we know how we deal with that council. Which leaders are you replacing guys with? Military genius in the 13th Battalion. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and... well, obviously this run at this point, because we just lost the SHQ, lost all the supplies in the SHQ. We were able to take it back, but simply... Oh no, apparently we took it back quickly enough that it didn't remove the high command. So we still got the high command there, although it's damage. Can I do shiny gifts on someone that we're worth? Oh, we've got no foreign affairs advisor because he died in the fighting. Apparently yes, although that's not a very good roll without a proper advisor. So yeah, this is it. This is what we're calling this run. We have the last planet generated file for this, so we'll start over and see if we, using Foreign Affairs Council as our first council, negotiate protectorships with the west and east. Because if we can do that before they get protected, and then at least we're looking at a start where we've got 3 cities, 3 to 4 cities, and the AI won't be able to run quite so roughshod over us. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. It won't be from this run. Well, I suppose it will kind of be from this run because it's going to be the same planet. But we're going to do one more part on this planet by sort of resetting to the beginning of the run and seeing if we do the opening different, if that makes a difference. I suspect we will know by the end of 2 hours whether that's going to make a difference. If it hasn't made a difference, when we come back to streaming Shadow Empire again in 4 days, we will start on a new planet, is I think how we're going to work this out. So we're watching this on YouTube. There'll be another part up tomorrow, and a part up in the day tomorrow, and the day after that day, probably. from this planet, but from a different attempt starting over on this planet. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break here to replace the cup of tea and do some of the file shuffling that I need to do to make the... well, to keep the information from this one. I don't overwrite the autosaves, so I need to move the autosaves. And, well, I don't need to move the last planet generation file because we're going to use that again, but got to move the autosaves. That's easy enough to do, but I'm going to do that while I'm doing my tea break, while the tea's brewing. So if you are watching on Twitch, I hope you are enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to see, or even if you're watching on Twitch and you want to see the stats, feel free to let me know. I might, when I come back from making the tea, if there's clamor for it on Twitch, or if there's clamor for it on YouTube, what I can do is I can do a resign so we can see everyone's stats. While you technically haven't lost, it doesn't show all the stats. But I could technically come in to chat up the secretary here, call him up, and do a resign so we can see all the game stats. If you're interested in that, let me know. So until next time, hopefully you're doing better than I am in the meantime, but until next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Until next time, bye for now.